Yo mga kamao, pound for pound boxing nga pala. Pag-usapan natin ang natatanging octuple champion or 8th division world champion sa mundo ng boxing sa 8 magkakaibang weight classes na walang iba kundi ang ating pambansang kamao, Senator Manny Pacquiao. Napapabalita na 2 laban na lang ang kanyang gagawin bago tuluyang isabit ang mga gloves at mag-focus na lamang sa politika at marahil sa kanyang mga negosyo rin. Ngunit bago yan ay huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at pindutin ang notification bell for more pound for pound boxing. Pound for pound boxing. Ito din ang pinakaunang video upload natin mga kamao dahil bagong-bago po ang ating channel at sana suportahan po natin upang patuloy tayong makapag-upload ng mga boxing videos. Si Pacman nga na hinahangaan ng kanyang kapwa-boksingero at ibang mga boxing analysts, experts, commentators, promoters, trainers, enthusiasts at mga fans mapadito man sa ating bansa at sa anumang sulok ng ating mundo. Dahil talaga nga namang imposible nang burahin ang kanyang nagawang record. Sinasabi din nila na wala nang susunod na Pacquiao sa kasaysayan ng boxing. Kaya habang nasisilayan pa ng ating mga mata ang ating pambansang kamao sa ibabaw ng lona, ay ating enjoy ang mga natitirang laban. At marami ding nagsasabi na ano na kaya ang magiging mundo ng boxing kung wala ng isang Manny Pacquiao sa loob ng ring, dahil silang naman ang nag-iisang boxing icon, most sensational boxer ayon kay Tyson, at natatangi sa kasaysayan ng boxing, at walang duda, ito ang era ni Pacquiao.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I'm truly honored to be fighting in this prime in time where he's still a fighter, active fighter, and I can tell my kids, growing up that, I fought around this era.
Kapansin-pansin din ang pambihirang nagagawa ng mga laban ng ating pambansang kamao dahil sa tuwing lumalaban siya ay bumababa ang antas ng krimen sa ating bansa dahil bukod sa mga maraming humahanga sa kanya ay tila pati mga kriminal ay nag-aabang sa kanyang mga laban dahil nag-iisa lang ang Manny Pacquiao na tinitingala ng buong mundo. Kaya nga, hindi rin katakataka na ang mga banyaga ay talagang malaki ang paghanga at respeto kay Pacquiao sa loob man at labas ng ring. Kaya nga, sa natitirang mga laban niya, ano pa kaya ang kanyang gustong patunayan?
What he's done for his country, his people, and really recognize him as a icon of this sport.
Mm-hmm. It shows you something to the talent that Manny Pacquiao was, because you see how difficult it is to move up to weight classes. Not everybody can be a multiple division world champion. It's really tough because of the weight. The weight plays a big factor in it, and helps all the people that he does. Like that's not a normal thing. That's not just 1 in a million. That's one in that's once in a lifetime. And we really are in a lucky age. And you brought up a good point, that we get to say to our kids that we're witnessing something not just a normal occurrence, something really special in history, having seen someone like Manny.
Sinabi nga rin ni Mickey Garcia na si Pacquiao ay isang pambihirang boksingero at tinanong nga niya ito bakit lumalaban pa at pinili pa ang isang gutom, malakas at batang huling nakalaban nga nito na puro pag-aangas ang ginawa nitong si Kit, one-time chairman. Ito ang sinabi ni Mickey Garcia.
It's unbelievable. It's incredible, And before the fight, after the win, I asked Manny, why are you doing this? Why do you still do this?
Yeah.
Why do you choose a young, hungry, dangerous fighter in Keith Thurman as your opponent?
Yeah.
And he says he's still searching for more legacy. You've accomplished everything. I mean, you've been champion multiple times, multiple divisions. He says, I want to just keep showing everybody that I'm that great.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he showed. He showed that he is that great.
Sinabi itong isang boxing analyst at kilala na si Max Kellerman na si Pacquiao daw ay may case bilang best pound for pound fighter of all time.
He also has a case for greatest fighter, pound for pound, who ever lived. You have to rank them at their best, and then also over the course of their careers. Because when you have that argument, are you talking about who accomplished the most, or what heights did they reach? What peak did they reach? Take either for Pacquiao. Take his peak. So Pacquiao's peak was just about as good as anyone in history. Now, I'd have favored Mayweather back then. He's the naturally larger fighter, and that's the point. When you talk about pound for pound, if a fighter moves up out of his natural weight class and can still compete with the best who ever did it, what does that mean about the quality of that fighter's prime, pound for pound? And then when you look at the career accomplishments, Pacquiao as a 40-year-old just beat, as I mentioned, the third best welterweight in the division, except really Pacquiao's the third best welterweight in the division. But do you realize he turned pro as a 16-year-old pro? Not even 5 feet tall, not even 100 pounds, and won his first lineal title a couple of years later as a flyweight. Didn't turn pro as a flyweight, won the lineal championship of the world, and then skipped up a couple weight classes and started tearing through divisions. When you think about what Pacquiao did from flyweight to 154 pounds, from a teenager till 40 years old, and when you consider the heights he reached, you're talking about certainly one of the best pound-for-pound fighters of all time. I believe, considering the fact that he's a much naturally smaller fighter than Mayweather, a better pound-for-pound fighter than Floyd Mayweather, and actually a guy who has a case. Whether you think he'd win it or lose it, he has a case. He could submit his resume and say, I want consideration as the best fighter who's ever lived.
At dahil nga iyan sa mga na-achieve ng ating pambansang kamao, at ang pagiging undefeated champion nga daw ay hindi kasing bigat ng isang 12 major world titles in 8 different weight division. Isama na natin ang pagiging kauna-unahang naging 4 na dekada na kung saan ay nananalo ng maraming championships. Kaya nga siya ay nagkamit ng titulong Fighter of the Decade sa magkahiwalay na taong 2000 and 2009 at 3 Fighter of the Year awards ng 2006, 2008, and 2009 ng Ring Magazine at ESPY bilang Best Fighter of 2009 and 2011 at iba pang mga impresibong achievements sa mundo ng boxing history. At nasabi nga din ni Robert Garcia na mas mahirap paghandaan kung may laban ang kanyang mga boksingero laban kay Pacquiao kesa kay Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Now, to fight Pacquiao is a lot different. It's very difficult to fight sparring partners. It's very difficult when in the ring and he steps side to side and throws 3-4 punch combinations that you don't even see. It's very different. But I've been against both of them, and honestly, I think preparing for Pacquiao has been a little more difficult.
Ngunit sinabi nga ni Evander Holyfield na naging isang undisputed champion din sa heavyweight division na hindi nga maaaring maging GOAT or greatest of all time ang isang boksingero kapag hindi niya natikman ang pagiging undisputed.
Now, Money is not shy about saying he's the best, and he does boast a perfect 15-0 record. But does Holyfield have a point? Even with a perfect record, can you be considered not the best if you're not the undisputed champion?
Kaya, sumagi tuloy sa aking isipan itong sinabi ng ating pambansang kamao kay Mickey Garcia na he's still searching for more legacy. Kaya sino nga kaya ang dalawang huling magiging katunggali ni Pacman na magbibigay pa sa kanya ng karagdagan pang pag-angat ng kanyang legasiya? Kukunin niya din kaya ang pagiging undisputed champion sa pamamagitan ng pag-akyat sa lona kontra kay Errol Spence at Terence Crawford? Ngunit mga kamao, hindi po magiging madali ang mga laban na yon. Pero dahil sa angking bilis, lakas ng tuntok at experience ng ating pambansang kamao, ay maaari itong mangyari. Gaya na lamang ng ginawa niya dito kay Keith one-time Thurman na knockdown pa nga, basag ang ilong at duguan at nasaktan pa sa isang body punch. Ngunit mga kamao, nitong mga nakaraang araw lang ay binawi ang WBA belt sa pambansang kamao o itong Super Championship belt na nakuha niya laban kay Keith one-time Thurman at ibinigay nga at ng kalaunan ay diniklara na rin na isang super champion ng WBA. Itong isang Cuban na si Yordenis Ugas na siyang mandatory ni Pacman. Binawi nga daw ang WBA belt ayon kay Sean Gibbons na manager ng pambansang kamao at sinabing ni wala man lang daw warning or tawag na pinarating sa kampo ng pambansang kamao. Ngunit sinaad naman ng WBA na kapag sa loob ng 18 buwan na hindi lumalaban ang may hawak ng titulo o ng belt ay automatic umano na babawiin ang belt sa may hawak nito at magiging isang champion in recess na lamang ang status ng dating may hawak nito. At sinasabi nila na tila hino-hostage daw ng pambansang kamao ang WBA belt. Sa tingin ko'y kakailanganing labanan ni Errol Spence na kasalukuyan ngang may hawak ng WBC at IBF belts. Itong si Yordenis Ugas na siya namang may hawak na nga ngayon nitong WBA belt na tinanggal sa ating pambansang kamao dahil ang belt umano ang target ni Errol Spence kaya niya gustong labanan ang ating pambansang kamao. Ngunit maaari naman ding maglaban ang ating pambansang kamao at itong si Errol Spence. Pero dapat magwagi muna laban dito kay Yordenis Ugas upang makuha ang Unified Welterweight World Championship belts. At kung magwagi ang ating pambansang kamao, ay labanan niya naman si Terence Crawford na siya namang may hawak ng WBO belt upang maging isang undisputed champion at malamang na isa na namang kasaysayan na iuukit sa boxing history dahil wala pang nakagagawa ng pagiging undisputed champion sa kasaysayan sa edad na 42 gaya ng sinabi ni Manny Garcia na na-witness nitong nakaraan lang at ito ang sinabi ni Manny Garcia.
Thurman. Man, we just witnessed history, to be honest. Manny Pacquiao just beat a whole new generation of welterweights. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, dang.
The OG's a legend, man. What can you say?
Yeah.
Kaya mga kamao, iiwanan ko sa inyo ang tanong. Dapat bang labanan ng pambansang kamao itong si McGregor na nitong nakaraan lang ay natalo naman kay Dustin Poirier sa rematch nila na sa bulong-bulungan ay ang laban umano. Laban dito sa ating pambansang kamao ay pera-pera na lang upang may maitulong daw sa ating mga kababayan. O piliing laban ang mga top contenders ng welterweights na sila Errol Spence at Terence Crawford kung talagang karagdagang legasia ang hinahanap umano ng ating pambansang kamao at posible din basihan at pagtibayin ang pagiging the greatest of all time. Hanggang dito na lang tayo mga kamao. At comment down below your opinion. And huwag kalilimutang mag-subscribe, i-share ang video na ito. Hanggang sa muli. At ito ang Pound for Pound Boxing.